I get emotional. I call
Yeah.
my mom. I try to figure out like what to do to like get past it. I've had tons of
Oh
failures.
yeah, everybody.
Everyone's had tons of failures.
Yeah.
Um, and I think one thing that I could like I think the first one that really rocked me was the was that I didn't get into every single one of my undergrad programs that I applied to. I applied to 9, guys. 9. I
Wow.
got into 1.
Wow. Okay, yeah. Interesting. Okay,
And
yeah.
as an Indian, that is
You're like, no,
horrible
this is unacceptable. Okay, yeah.
because like yes, we're trying to break down those barriers of being like, no, the Indians and Asians should not be in the stereotype, but your family and everyone around you, your community, thinks you're the intelligent one, and you need to make sure you go into like get into those 9 programs. I got into one program, and that was really heartbreaking to me. And that was like a failure because I have been working for 4 years, did the SATs, did the prep, all that stuff to get me here where I couldn't even get into the program that I desired.
Yeah.
And that was really hard. So that's just I'm just going to use that as an example of like that was my first one that I felt like I actually failed my family and I
Yeah.
failed myself because I worked so hard for it. And then I took a step back and I was just like, things happen for a reason. But do you know how long that took me to realize that things happen for a reason? Like 7 months later, when I was actually in that one program that I got into. Because we're
Yeah.
young. I mean, we don't realize things until like
Yeah.
we're sad until like we actually build a community wherever we end up, or we get the validation that we're in a good spot, or we've lived life and then we recall from the past. Like we don't notice that until much later that things work out for the best.
Yeah.
So I think the beauty of being a human itself is we're all going to have to face failure. And the only way that we face failure is if we put ourselves out there for for the possibility of being rejected.
Yeah.
And that's okay to get rejected. I heard the study of this guy that aimed to get rejected every day in order to devalue rejection so that he can like always feel better when he gets rejected
Yeah,
in a
like it
way.
wasn't it was almost like it's not a big deal.
It's not a big deal. Like
Yeah.
he would go and ask his manager for a raise, for
Sure.
example. And his manager was like, oh, maybe we can work through it. He would have never asked for it if he'd never actually said to himself that he's going to try to get rejected every day.
Yeah.
So I think it's okay to it's okay to get rejected.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Um so failure itself is something that is going to happen, and I think for me, I cry, I get emotional, I call
Yeah.
my mom, I try to figure out like what to do to like get past it, but at the end of the day, it's not going to kill you. Like why we need to continue pushing forward and be okay to take some time to like reflect about it, but push forward. Like life is going to take its turns in multiple directions and we just don't know where it's going to end up. Like I did not think I was going to end up here in Portland. It didn't.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought I was going to live in California all my life, but look at where we're at now.
Yeah.
So things happen.
Yeah.